Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome back in to another edition of Astros Recap. David Artis here to break things down once again. Astros now have 4 weeks in the books. You count the first 4 games sort of weekend series, 3 more after that. Played 22 games. Month of April is finally complete. Astros actually finished the month with a winning record. I believe they were I guess 11 and 10. 21 games in the month of April. Opening day, I believe, was April 7th or 8th. Got the calendar pulled up here. We opened April 7th. 22 games, 21 games in the month of April, because today was May 1st. Not thrilled with the Astros. Not disgusted, though. It's kind of just sort of in between right now. They finished the 7-game road trip, actually winning 4 of 7, taking 3 of 4 in Texas, losing 2 of 3 in Toronto. Talking about last week, coming in. Obviously, last week wasn't a good week, but they won on Sunday, so I was sort of okay. Not in a bad mood necessarily, so to speak. But today, obviously losing on Saturday and Sunday, I mean, they should have at least taken 2 in the series. So, yeah, not thrilled with the way the week ended, at least. But I think so. I mean, they're just they're right there. They come back home tomorrow. They started 3 games set with the Mariners and 4 with the Tigers. So we'll see sort of where they're at. I think the bats are close. I think they're coming around. Obviously, they scored 8 runs this Sunday when I talked to you last week. But I wasn't sold on the offense at all. They do lose the first game in Texas. They take the next 3. Offense still wasn't breaking out at all. Only 2 runs on Monday. Then it was like 5, 4, 3. So still just sort of middling there. Not really. Friday was the game in Toronto. They scored 11 runs where you felt like, okay, that could lead to something. And then not really. They should lose 2-1 on Saturday, and they lose 3-2 today. A lot of one-run games, but we're not sitting there playing the Blue Jays and thinking to ourselves, we're close. That's not, no. The Blue Jays should be looking up at us because we've had sustained success for the last 5 years. This is their first year where they're like, we shouldn't be looking up at other teams. Teams should be looking up at us because we've proven ourselves, at least in the last 5 years. That's the way I look at it. So, I don't take moral victories for anything. You lose a game, right? So I just thought I'd throw that in there real quick. But the first game was close. So the pitching staff's done a little better, starting-wise, I feel like. Valdez has looked good his last 2 starts after having 2 very subpar starts where he was walking guys left and right. He had 9 walks, 2 games, like 5 in one start, 4 in the next, but he's cut back down the last 2 games, looked better. He pitched today, also pitched on Monday. We'll get to that in a second. I'm going to dive into this in just a few seconds here. But again, still trying to keep things short and sweet. Rizzi had a good start. Yeah, and what start? Was it the Tuesday start, I think it was? So we'll look, but Rizzi had a good start. Rizzi also starts tomorrow, so we'll see if he can build off his good start. Javier was into the rotation. He went 5 innings, 2 runs. Looked good, obviously. Verlander was good, got the win. Garcia, I think, was okay. So the starters were good this time around, so we're just starting again. Valdez pitched well today, so we'll just see if we can sort of keep things. And the Astros will roll with a 6-man rotation for the time being with all these days, with really 1 or 2 days off, I think. The next off day is a week from tomorrow, which is May 9th. But bullpen-wise, it's about the same. Abreu hasn't been abysmal. He's given up runs, I think, each of the last 2 times out, Abreu never makes it easy. One thing I will. So we know Brady's got the 100 mile per hour fastball, which we've seen him throw a lot of times. If he can work his slider, that slider, just any off-speed pitch can be effective. I feel like, because if you're throwing 100 miles per hour and you can take basically 10 to 15 off with your slider, you can sort of keep hitters off balance. But I need to see like bigger sample size of Brian or Brady before I can ever jump on board with him because we just haven't seen it. Blake Taylor's haven't seen him pitch a whole lot lately, to be quite honest with you. They brought the lefty up for Presley. And by the way, while we're on that subject, Presley still isn't back, which is these injury things are just so hard to gauge. That's why when I see an injury, I'm just like, dude, he's out a month. Like the whole thing with Altuve, I just said he's out a month because it's just nobody can give you a for sure timetable. So it's just so hard to predict these things. I mean, it's just if they're on the IL, it's frustrating. This goes back to the whole Lance McCullers things, which I'm not going to get into. But Presley's not back. It's just that simple. Altuve could be back tomorrow, but again, who knows? These injuries things, you get me started there. I'm just gonna get myself all riled up, and I'm not. I don't want to do that tonight. All right, Altuve should be back at some point. We'll say as early as tomorrow, but he should be back on the team no later than the end of this first series against the Mariners. Presley, I'm not going to hold my breath. I do like our bullpen for the most part. Here's the thing. I got to keep a very close eye now on Phil Maton because he has not impressed me this year. That plain and simple. Neris, been great. Montero, been great. Maton's a guy you're going to ride or die with because I just think when you compare him to other people, Ryan Stanek's been pretty good. I like him. Javier obviously out of the bullpen now in the rotation, so a little different there. But yeah, it's interesting the way they, with no press in the back end. Obviously Presley had 2 saves. I don't know. He had that one bad sort of outing in Arizona a few weeks ago, but that might have been injury related because he got put on the IL right after that outing where he sort of blew the save, gave up the 2 runs, lost the game. But again, I have no idea. They won't even leak anything about Presley. We have no idea. They won't say anything, and that's something else that bothers me because it's at least give us updates. I mean, if he's a little behind schedule, okay, that's fine, but just tell us. Like, why is it so hard? Why did they keep all this stuff a secret? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, but I don't want to get all riled up. Well, quickly go through the weekend. Quickly, we're gonna quickly do this. 6-2 on Monday, they lose. Again, the offense. I mean, Alvarez hit an early home run. The Astros had a 2-1 lead. But yeah, Maton came in. This is sort of what I was just mentioning. He was not great. Maton, after Valdez goes 6 innings, one unearned run, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. But Maton only gets an out, gives up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, gets the loss, blown save. And then Mashinsky gave up 2 runs. The game was closer than you'd think, and Ronel Blanco, who will be off this team here in the coming days, also gave up a run. Stanek was good in his 1 or 2/3 of an outing. But Maton was the big story there. Or the offense. You could really blame either or. You scored 2 runs, you're not going to win all the games. Obviously, Maton wasn't good. ERA coming up. But Maton's a guy, like I said, I got to keep a close eye on him because I'm not thrilled with what he's done so far. But winning Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, good starts there from people like Odorizzi, Javier, and, Verlander, of course. Offense, okay. Kyle Tucker, these 3 games, like the big points here, Kyle Tucker had a big, what was it? He had a home run, I think, on Tuesday, which stretched the lead, and then we held on. Had the big bases clearing double in the Wednesday game, which accounted for 3 of our 4 runs, I believe. And then had the big go-ahead home run. Was a 2-run shot, I believe. in like the ninth inning on Thursday. So Kyle Tucker with the big hits really accounted for all of our offense those 3 games. But the pitching was pretty good as well. Um, Naris has been sort of working as the acting closer. Montero's gotten games. Dusty's really careful. I'm hoping this is just because it's still April and your relievers didn't get their regular spring training, but he is like, I don't know. I hope that as the season progresses, he's letting the starters go. Like, they're pitching 90, 100 pitches. Like, Valdez today threw 101 pitches. So, I mean, the starters, it's you've played a full month now. I think the training wheels for all players should be taken off at this point. So, but taking 3 of 4 on the road, I don't care where you're playing. I'm going to take it. So coming out of that series felt good, and then you went on Friday. The offense, I mean, everybody got into the act. I mean, you had Jeremy Pena hitting home runs. You had timely hits, I felt like. Jordan Alvarez hit a home run. Trying to think who else. But, I mean, the offense that day was clicking on all cylinders. So, Luis Garcia didn't... Was it Garcia? Hold on. Wasn't... No. Urquidy. Urquidy didn't have to pitch that great. He wasn't amazing, but again, he got through 5 innings, got the win, so that was good on his part. Bullpen wasn't great. I know Abreu came in, gave up a run. Maton came in, gave up a 2-run home run to Chapman, so that just goes back to what I've been saying with Maton. I think there's a problem there. We'll see if it can get fixed without it actually costing us a whole lot. But he scored 11 runs. They gave up 7. Sort of back and forth. The Astros were up 1-0. It was 1-1. They were 4-1. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. hit a 3-run shot to tie it, and we finally pulled away. Had a resiliency a little bit there, but 11 runs. Scored 11 runs, 13 runs in the second game of the year. A few games where you scored 8 runs. Other than that, a lot of 3s, 2s, 1s, a few 4s, but that's basically, again, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard. I think the offense is close. I really do. I feel like they're real close. Springer killed them all week, by the way. I mean, he hit 2 home runs on Saturday, which accounted for all of their offense. We lose 2-1. I think Alvarez hit a home run, our only scorer of the day on Saturday. Today, we were up 1-0. We tied them 2-2. It looked like we had a good chance to tie it in the ninth inning. As you know, Tucker had a big double. Bregman looked like he had a double going the other way. Springer dove on the warning track to catch it, and then Pena, who was 0 for 4 today with 4 strikeouts, didn't do a whole lot. But April's over. It's time to streak. They had a 4-game winning streak, going into Saturday, which now they've lost 2 in a row. But it's May now. It's officially May, so let's start to get things going here. Roster shrink coming up here at some point, so we'll see. One of the big news stories over the week, Pedro Baez was DFA'd. Didn't work out with Baez. Just wanted to see what we had this year. He had a few outings, and from that point forward, it was just all, it wasn't good, and they've given up. I don't have an issue with that at all. Between him and Taylor and Abreu, those are the 3 guys I did not like. Obviously, Blanco and Mashinsky, I don't really like them either, but I know that they're just placeholders at this point. So, I'm going to have to deal with Brian Abreu for the rest of the year. I'm going to have to deal with Blake Taylor for the rest of the year. Mashinsky and Blanco, Baez gone. Those guys I don't really count just because, But long trip back home. Obviously, they're probably not even, they might not even be back yet. I mean, I heard that they had to take a bus from, you have to be sort of tested. You have to test negative to fly out of Toronto. So I think that they had a big bus driving from Toronto down to Buffalo, then getting on a flight coming home. So they might not even be home by now. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see what they do this week. 4-game week, not tough teams. Well, Seattle's okay. They're decent, and then the Tigers, I haven't really kept up with them. Let's check their record here if I can find it quickly. Let's see. They're 7-14. Yeah, they're 7-14. Yeah. Seattle's 12-10. They have a game lead on us. The Angels are 15-8. So they lead the division. Will that last? I highly doubt it, but we'll wait and see. I'm not a believer in the Angels. I'm just not. I don't believe in them. I'm not gonna, all of a sudden change my mind after 23 games. I know they played good baseball, but, yeah. Trying to think, really. Like, I just try to keep these things sort of short. Today, Kevin Gossman, who's probably their best pitcher, was good. Valdez was good, just, couldn't score. But seeing Fromber have back-to-back good outings was nice to see. Odorizzi will be interesting tomorrow. Then you'll have Javier ramp up a little bit more. Threw like 84 pitches, got through 5 innings, got the win, I believe, on Wednesday. I want to say it was Wednesday, yeah. But I expected him to be pretty good. So I actually predicted 2 runs, 5 innings for Javier. It's exactly what he gave us. But I think his pitch count will probably increase a little bit, if he's pitching well at least, when he gets to start on Tuesday. So anyway, 11-11. Or dead 500. Obviously, you'd like to be better, but I can't complain too much. April, we talked about this month. We need Altuve back, need Presley back. Those are the big injuries, obviously. But the offense is close. I think it's very close. But yeah, I'm going to wrap things up there. I'm at 17 minutes. Keep these short and sweet. Try no more than 20 minutes. Love to hear your comments section below. I'm sure I've left out a few things here and there. I didn't go through pitching lines and all this, but overall as a whole, starting pitching better. 3rd time around. Hopefully this continues. Bullpen, close eye on Maton. Love Neris, love Montero. We'll see with Presley. Also, I'm okay with Stanek as well. So there's that. But yeah, wrap things up there. We'll talk to you next week. Hit that like button. Share it with your friends. All that good stuff on YouTube. Love to hear your comments, obviously. And we'll talk to you in about a week. See you then.